Hi, I'm live. So, welcome to Tuesday Talk. So, this is the show that we get together every Tuesday, talk about what's going on. I do some painting, some crafting, whatever, and um, that's what it is. I also do a live show not a live show, I'm sorry. I do a show every Saturday at 4. I do painting, and it's called Step by Step. But tonight, and also during this month, during June, I'm doing a video every day. So hope you tune in, catch some of those if you didn't get to see them. So I'm doing something I never did before, and I'm using Alumilite's Amazing Mold Putty. So I looked at the directions briefly, and I saw that um, you take equal parts and that you have about a minute to mix it together, and that it takes about, I think, 10 to 12 minutes to cure. So try to get some of this out of here. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. I bought this on Etsy, and this is a mold that I want to do my frozen Charlotte line out of, and I'm going to show you that a little bit. But I want to make some more of these because I used the amazing casting resin from Alumilite also, and used it to make this little character. And I want to make more of these, so I'm going to use the casting to make another mold. So I also have a couple things here, which I'm going to go ahead and start mushing this together. They don't really give you a measure or anything, so I'm just kind of eyeballing, guessing. I'll make it into a little ball, so maybe we can judge a little bit better. That looks about even. Okay, so I'm going to start mushing these together. That would be a technical term, right? So here's a couple of the things that I have. I bought this at Pier 1 years ago, a little cherub, and it just has a little hook on the back. I have a couple different of those, and they're so cute, but I just thought that would be a good one to do with. And also, this is a problem solver. I have a table that that's missing the claw foot. So this is like hollow inside, but I'm going to try to recreate that. I'm not exactly sure how. And then I thought I would try something fun and do this old knob plate, I think you call that. Okay, so I did read somewhere where you just kind of want to put the material around your casting rather than like submerge your casting inside it. So I'm going to put the screen down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing, and I hope you can. And I'm just going to take a little hunk of this. See, I can't see real well when I do this, so I'm just going to take some of this, but you know what? It doesn't look completely molded to me. It still looks really swirly. So I presume it should be one solid color. So I also presume that this is exactly what I bought from Etsy. So there you go. Another thing you can do is sell molds. You have some cool little trinkets around the house, and you can just make molds out of them and sell them on Etsy. Another thing you can do is make molds or make the castings and sell them on Etsy. People are willing to buy them also for their furniture and stuff. Okay, so I made this kind of flat, and I'm just gonna put this around my little frozen Charlotte. And I want to show you before I go tonight some of my frozen Charlotte girls. Okay, I don't know whether I'm supposed to flip this over or not, but that's what I have so far. So I'm going to let it go. I see they used a lot less mold putty with this. So maybe I'm using too much, but it's on there now. So I don't want to mess with it too much. I'm going to take a little bit of it away because I hate to waste it since I have such ambitious projects here. I hope you all are doing well in this heat. It's really a warm day here. It's 91 in central Pennsylvania, so I'm sure it's pretty warm where some of you are too. If you're on, go ahead and say hello. I might not see you right away, but I'll see it eventually. Okay, I'm going to try the claw foot. And again, I'm not really sure how this is going to work because when I make the mold, I don't want it to be solid. I want it to be just a shell. So I don't know how that'll work out, but we'll see. I guess just not fill the whole thing when I pour it. Now I feel like I don't have enough material over here, yet I have a lot here. So again, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. Now I feel like I don't have enough there. And that is in here, and I don't think that's right. So you can see what I'm doing, but I'm just kind of clearing this out. Again, I'm going to take a little bit more of this material because I'm going to have to mix some more up. So leave it to me to do something for the first time on live. Bringing that around there because if I do pour something into a mold, I want to have enough around it so that it can support whatever the amazing casting resin or whatever I put in there. So we'll see. So I sort of have to make a wall up on this side. So if I do pour my mold, then it has to catch the liquid. So, all right, I'm going to quit fooling around with that one and just set that one aside. And gonna mix some more up here. I'm gonna put the screen up a little bit so I can see what's going on. It's hard to get out of here. Not sure what the secret is. It's almost like you should use a spoon or something. Okay, I'm just putting my fingers down in there. Apparently I'm gonna end up using this whole container tonight. I don't know. Okay, so it has a really good feel to it. Feels sort of like really super soft Play-Doh. Smells kind of good. Doesn't stink. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we got here. They look sort of alike-ish. They feel about the same size. So I'm going to start mixing them together. So how's everybody's week going so far? Oh, good. I had a busy day. So our customers are starting to shop more and more. So that's a good thing. Starting to be about 50-50 with the masks. And we'll try to have them put masks on, have a little sign, but not everybody listens. So I wear mine when there's customers in the store. So I hear little snaps every now and then, just like your gum would be popping. Okay. Still seeing a few swirls. Okay, now it's starting to look a little more solid. I don't know which one to tackle first, the angel or the plate. I'm going to go for the angel, and I'm going to make it a little bit more. I don't know whether I have enough for the angel or not, but we're going to give it a try. So I'll put the screen down again so you can see what I'm doing. Here's the angel. I don't want anything else to get on here. This is my work surface I've been working on all week. So I'm just going to kind of put it down over it. Like I said, if I pour the casting resin, I would want it to be the whole way over it so that the liquid, would stay in it. Sorry, I'm trying to talk and cast. Okay, taking a look at it, I can see that isn't really in there very good, so I guess I'm going to have to mold it a little bit more to the details. So I guess, and I'm really, only guessing at this. So I'm also guessing I should just pull this away, because if I don't, I'm gonna make it difficult to make a mold, I think. So if these ones turn out right, then this is really super duper easy. And I assumed it would be, because their amazing casting resin is certainly easy to use. I'm also probably going to use the other, the clear, that takes a day to dry on countertops for a customer. So that'll be interesting too. I'm going to have to play around with it first a little bit. I think I've used something similar to it before, a 2-part epoxy. We used it on our counters at work and at the other store too. So, okay, so I'm hoping that's good, and I'm going to turn it over, and mainly just kind of want to make sure there's no holes in it, because again, if I pour liquid resin in there, I don't want it to seep out. Okay, I think it looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to set that one aside. And then, so I'm going to get the rest of the molding material out here. Not sure the best way to do that. I might have to get something to help it out here a little bit, but I'm going to switch back up here so I can see. Nobody's making any comments tonight, so I can't see who's with me. So if you like this video, I would love it if you comment, and if you really love it, then maybe you should share it. That would be awesome. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, that would be pretty cool too. Okay, so I got the remainder of the product out, because this door plate is pretty big. So I hope I'm not getting too much out, because I just then used all of it in one night. But I'm trying a few different projects. So normally I'm not going to have this much stuff to cast, I don't think, unless I just fall in love with this and start casting everything in sight, which is a possibility. I tend to get a little carried away sometimes. All right. Okay. So again, they're about the same size, and I'm going to start mixing these together. So I'm thinking of doing a promotion to get some more subscribers on my channel. I'm thinking of giving away a furniture piece. So let me know what you think about that idea. Hello, sister. Glad you're here. Okay. So I'm playing with Amazing Molds Putty. And right now it looks very marbly, but I'm going to keep working it together. And the last thing I'm covering here is this this door plate. So it's almost mixed together here. All right, looks pretty good. Still a little bit of marbling. This is definitely fun to play with and good exercise for your wrists and, and your arms. So I hope I didn't use too much, but I did, so be it. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of get it in sort of a lengthy piece just because the piece that I'm using is lengthy. I'm going to put the screen down a second. And I'm just going to, not sure how. I hope I have enough here. Trying to shape it a little bit in the air. Okay, so I'm just going to work it down over. Not sure how that keyhole part is going to work, or the part where the knob goes in. Oh boy, because I'm sort of piercing that, and I don't want to do that. Okay. Trying to work that over. Boy, I'm making more holes in it. Okay, I'm going to steal a little from here and patch it. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing or not. Maybe when I flip it over, it'll make more sense to me. Okay, oh boy. So has anybody here ever done this before? So, okay. I have, this came through there and here. So I'm thinking that's good because when I pour it, then that means there'll be holes there. So I actually think this one needs to come up through a little bit more. So I push that through a little bit. Because last week, if you joined me, I was doing some earrings. And one of the earrings in the mold, I have it here. I'll show you. I'm going to flip this over. All right. I think I'm going to let everything dry. But so I'll pull this up and show you. But on this mold, they forgot one of the little posts. So you can see the rest of them have these little posts. Then that's where it automatically makes the hole for the earring, the wire. But this one they forgot. So I still managed to make some anyway. Which, by the way, but while I was waiting to come on, I did. I finished up another pair. Just got the hardware, the wires on that. Apparently, I didn't do a good job. That one came off. But anyway, I think these are so cute. I just love these. So I was busy doing that last week. Now these are supposed to dry. The first one I poured is kind of stuck to the table, but I'm going to show you. This is the frozen Charlotte. So I got it off the table. I'm still going to let it sit a few more minutes. I'm not exactly sure because I'm certainly not an expert because this is the first time I did it. what it takes to get it to this consistency. This is the one that I bought from Etsy, but pretty sure they use the same stuff to make it. So letting those go. But since I brought up frozen Charlotte, so my idea is to make this line of jewelry and line of products, the Vintage Decor branded, that is frozen Charlotte. So the frozen Charlotte is, there's a legend behind it. It was a vain girl that had a date, and this was back in the times of carriages, and she was so vain. She had a beautiful dress on, and her mother told her to wear a coat, and she didn't. So by the time she got to her destination, she was indeed frozen. So if you look real carefully whenever I unmold this, you'll see, and you can see on here, but she doesn't have all of her limbs. So it's kind of a sad, grotesque story, but these are some of the things I'm working on. This is a journal, did the large wings, and my idea for her is that she'll always have some sort of clothes on. She's not going to be like a little naked frozen Charlotte, but she'll get embellished, but she'll always have her little dress on because that was the whole idea. So that was one. I'm not in love with these. These are sort of like prototypes that I've been playing around with. But I like that they all have that fabric element on them. So those two are journals. And I like these. These are flasks. So I kind of like the skirt on that one. I think those ones will sell once I introduce the frozen Charlotte concept. I like this one. I think she's pretty. I like her little skirt that's made of flower petals. Okay, and this one, not really in love with, but it might become part of a different necklace. But she's on a crown. And this one's sort of a three-part situation here. But there's roses and then the Charlotte doll. So there's a song that goes with it and everything. Matter of fact, my stepdaughter is trying to work on a score for it. And this, I don't know whether I was putting this with this one or not, but a lot of work to be done, but these are just some concepts that I'm working on. So, all right. So again, this is the one that I bought from Etsy, and I made a mold using the amazing casting resin, the 2-part epoxy, which I used before. And now I want to make another mold so that I can sort of go in mass production. So I'll be wanting to make more. So I'm going to try to unmold this because it's been at least 15 minutes. So there you have it. Can you see that real well? I have a mold. So I made a mold from my casting that I made from my mold. So what I might do is let that sit a little bit longer, and maybe before I go, I'll mix up some 2-part epoxy and let that sit, and we'll see how well it goes. So the next thing I molded was this foot to a table. So I'm hoping these are done enough. This is crazy stuff. So just going to try to pull this away. Oh, that looks pretty good. I'm still not sure how I would do this though. Because you can see this is a shell. It's not a solid object. So I'm not 100% sure. And I also see that I have a hole over here. So that's a problem. So I guess mix some more putty, which I used all of this. So I'm going to have to get some more and patch that. And then I don't know whether I should fill this then and make a shell to put inside it. I don't know. So if anybody has any experience with these and has an answer to that question, I'd appreciate your help. So and then the next thing I did was this cherub, and I just don't feel like this is ready because this is a lot of material on here. Not quite sure if this one's ready or not. So what I will do, I mean, it just has a funny, really sticks to the table until you, but this one's still setting up as well. I just don't think they're ready. So what I will do is I'll take a minute and I will mix up some casting resin and we'll try our new mold out, because why not? If I have something to mix in. Let's see. Oh, I don't know whether this is kosher or not. I'll try it though. I'll clean out this, clean out one of these containers that these came in. And I'll put it in there. I feel like a mad scientist sometimes. Okay, looks like I left some material sit in these cups from the last time. So this isn't going to take a lot. Again, you put part A and part B together, equal parts. And you mix them together. I'm going to put lids on everything so I don't spill them. All right. Get something to stir with here. Paint handle. And with 2-part epoxy, it gets cloudy and then it'll get clear. And once it gets clear again, then you know it's time to pour. You don't have a long time to work with this for sure. Like they said, you should only mix the mold putty for a minute or so, but I felt like it could have gone a little longer. But in the warm weather, now I feel it's getting warm, so I know it's ready to pour. But in the warm weather, I feel like you don't have very long open time with this. I'm going to put the screen down a second so you can see that I'm just pouring this in the new casting and see how I did. Okay, I'm going to let that sit a little bit, and I'm not going to let any of this go to waste. So I will pour, let me see, I like these the best, I think. But I only have one of these. So maybe I can either order a second mold. Never thought of that whenever I bought it, that 2 at a time might be helpful if you're making pairs of earrings. Now I can feel this getting really goopy. So it's definitely almost done, but I don't even think I have enough to pour another mold. But look how slow it's coming out. We'll give it a whirl. So, as I told you last week, I have so many things that I want to do. I just bought a whole bunch of stencils. I've been really into stencils lately, and I have a whole bunch of boards over there. So I want to make some signs. So maybe we'll do that next week. And then I also have this project that I want to do out of all these paper bags that I'm getting from the grocery pickup. The handled ones I'm going to keep making gift bags out of. I decided I'm going to start working on Christmas gift bags. How much money will that save, and how much it's saving? so, so I'll just be able to throw that out. But these are nice little containers, actually. So I'm always looking for stuff to put little small jewelry findings in. So you can see that this stuff is getting white already. So that means that it's setting up. We're really pushing the limits here of technology, I guess, tonight. We're trying to get it, science maybe. We're trying to get everything to work faster than it probably should. But while we're waiting, because that's not 100%, sorry, don't mean to shake you up. But while we're going to wait for that to set up a little bit more, I'll show you some of these molds. Or not molds, stencils. So I just bought one from Michael's that I thought was pretty cool. And I actually saw something in a magazine that made me want something similar to this. This isn't really what I wanted, but I thought it was kind of cool. So, and I'm just picturing it with a white background and pretty pinks and blues and yellows, very, very bright. So that one's a plaid stencil, and these ones I got at Joann's. They were all in this one pack. It's called Jelly Bean Soup, and it's all this whole pack, and these all came in it. So there's My Roost, My Rules, and Welcome to Our Porch. So I was thinking of also doing some decoupage along with these. The restroom sign, I can see getting a lot of use out of that. Not a lot of use, but I love you most. I think that's cute. That's superlative to I love you more, Colleen. Okay. Just some flowers, basic flowers. And kick off your boots and stay a while. And when you're doing these stencils, maybe you don't like the stars down here. Maybe you just want to do, something else. And you can just tape over those, tape over the stars, and you don't have to use everything in the stencil. I like this one too. The planters. That's cute. And this is probably the one that made me buy the thing in the first place. And it's the truck, which is, of course, our logo. Now, my only concern with this is, and I think I've shown you this before, how like you can either swirl or pounce. Have to pounce with this because this piece right here is totally loose. These pieces are really delicate. So, if you took a brush and swirled it over there, then you'd be moving that little piece. So, lemonade. And you make my heart skip a beat. That was cute. So, those are some of my new things to play with. Always something. Okay, let's see if the angel, the cherub, is ready to, I don't want to say unmold, demold, I don't know, to mold, to become a mold. Boy, I don't know whether it's good to put anything on these, like spray of Pam or something, because boy, this seems to be stuck on here. I'm afraid to push it too much because I don't know if it's completely molded. Well, it seems to be breaking away. So I did read that this is also food safe. So if I wanted to, I could use chocolate in these molds and make candy or whatever. Okay, so I hear it kind of breaking away. This is definitely different. This part is really coming loose. When in doubt, use your chest. By the way, I have my Vintage Decor t-shirt on in case you didn't see. Okay, boy, this is, I'm gonna have to get a little rough with this thing. Okay, I don't think it's all completely ready because I'm looking in here and you can see there's kind of like strings. So I'm gonna let that sit a little bit more. I don't know how I'm gonna get it off, but I feel like I would be able to really tug at it a little bit more if I felt it was really molded. This one seems to be breaking away pretty easily. Kind of excited about this. Boy, this is that area that I kind of had trouble with. I struggled with. Everything's coming loose except that. And I think what I'm going to do, because I think it's molded, I think I'm just going to take something and push down and poke that through. I'm going to break it. Okay, it's coming out. Cool. How cool is that? I like it. So I'll be anxious to make a mold or cast one with this. Now I see there's an area there, and I'm trying to match it up on here. I guess it was just kind of like a chunk out of the original. So this is really cool because I can use either amazing casting resin in this, or I can use modeling material, which I have some of that here. I might play around with that a little bit. Thank you. I think it's pretty cool too. Yeah, so this is all white. So usually that means it's ready. So I'm gonna pull that apart. Yay! So I had a successful casting. She's got a little extra around her foot, but I can trim that off with scissors. So now I can actually go into production of making multiple frozen charlottes. So that's pretty cool. All right, so still gonna let this angel set a little bit, and I'm gonna get a few things out of the way. So I'm gonna get the modeling material from Redesign with Prima out and maybe make a door plate, I think, or doorknob plate. I think that's what they're called. So this is modeling material. And these come in little, I call them bullets. But this container lasts you a long time. I usually break it up a little bit and sell it individually at the store because it's like $27 for the whole container. And I don't know that everybody wants to spend that much to invest in something to give it a try. So we make these little trial size, take those little bullets apart and put them in the store and sell them for $3 a piece. So sometimes people buy them 1 and 2 at a time. So I got paint today. I was pretty excited about that because it's been a while since we were closed that I've haven't had an order come in. And I've had so many people because they were, crafting during quarantine and people were really, really needing paint. So, boy, I'm having trouble getting started with this one, but I'm going to go ahead and put it down because I'm just going to work it like I normally do any other mold. But I almost feel like I need to have more material out. I think I'm going to get this whole thing out and work this whole thing. So it'll just take a second for me to get that warmed up. While I'm doing that, I made these little rings using some of the, I think these were redesigned with Prima molds. I haven't painted them yet. But roses on top of a filigree ring. And I did a little bit of a smaller one. Okay. I try to get this a little bit evened out so it's easier to press into the mold. Try and make it a little flat. Okay. Okay, this is different. I'm so used to using the other type of silicone mold when I do this. So this is a new experience. So glad you're with me. Okay, this one's, I'm going to want it to remain relatively flat just because of the nature of what it is. So like any other mold that you're going to put on a project, you want the back to be flat. Not the side you see, but of course it's going to be up against your furniture, so or whatever you're putting it on, a board or whatever. So just going to use the palm of my hand here to kind of flatten it out a little bit, and then I'll try to get some excess removed here. This is a lot different than working with those molds that have the raised sides, that's for sure. Okay, I took a little bit too much there. I can always trim this up, because I'll be able to see better once I flip it. Of all these projects here, I mean, I've been wanting to do the Frozen Charlotte one, but kind of more excited about this one than anything. I mean, you can see that there's going to be practical uses. So if I was missing the, like the handle part of a piece of furniture hardware, I could recreate it with this stuff easily. There's been many times when I could have used this. I've made some makeshift molds before using hot glue, but believe me, this stuff, I think, is the ticket. And again, I think I would probably let it harden a little bit longer. I just am doing it for the sake of time, just kind of rushing things, just so that I don't keep you all night tonight, even though I always enjoy this time. It flies. It always goes so fast. I see I've been on 44 minutes already, and it just goes so fast. Okay, let's unveil here. I'm just going to flip it like I normally do and peel it back. I'm pretty happy with this. I can get rid of the holes, if you can see that. Get rid of the holes and clean up the edges, which is easy enough to do. And this is a fun thing. So I'm pretty happy about that. So I probably would work with this a little bit more while it's still wet and get rid of that stuff there. Matter of fact, I think I'll do that right now. The edges I can work with when they're dry, but to remove some of the material, I would want to do that while it's wet. And this stuff hardens pretty quickly. For something of this size, I probably wouldn't come back to it until the next day. I'm just making little circles there. And this I'll just remove. Little crochet hooks coming in handy. Okay, so I just cleaned that up a little bit and I'll let it go, and then I'll clean the edges up when it's set up. It'll be a lot easier to hold it. That way I can let it dry flat. Okay. I think I'm going to give this cherub one more opportunity to come out of the mold. So, how about telling me in the comments whether you want me to do stencils next week or the paper bag project with the glue and the candle. That's a very old Aileen's craft that I remember from years ago, and I want to bring it back. But basically, you're making bag, you're burning it, and you're making it look like metal, and you're putting several layers together. So it's kind of a cool project. So I actually looked it up, and people are still doing it. So we'll try not to burn the house down next week, and we'll give it a whirl. Okay, boy, I really should have used Pam. Oh my gosh. Oh, I ripped the mold. I don't know that leaving this on any longer is going to be the answer either, because it seems pretty hard and set up. Not hard, because it's not hard, but you vote for the bags. Okay, I think that that's what I'll do then, because I've been wanting to try it. So, okay, so I'm not sure what about this one isn't working, but maybe it's too thick of a thing to use with this. Like I said, this is experimental, so yeah, this is kind of ripping apart now. I feel like if I don't take it off, I'll never get it off. I'll lose my little cherub. It's finally coming off. I don't know whether there's any way of saving this or not. Okay. Well, if I can patch this somehow, I think it made a good mold. So I'm going to do a little research and see if there's any way of gluing this together. I don't know. I don't know whether hot glue would work, because I don't know. So like I said, it seems like, I don't know whether you can see that, but it looks like there's a lot, you can see the face, there's a lot of detail in there. But not exactly sure what went wrong, but I'll see if I can fix it. So I think that's it for tonight. I think that's all I'm trying tonight. So I appreciate you joining me. I love your company and love you, sister. And I will talk to you all soon. See you tomorrow. Let me see. Tomorrow we're back to spirit. I'm doing body, mind, and spirit on days when I'm not doing my painting. So Saturday, of course, will be my step by step. But so be back to the spirit tomorrow. All right. Thanks for joining me. Bye.